If you like post-rock music, this is must-know chord theory. I call this the major-minor swap, and it adds beautiful colors in your music. So let's check this out. The principle is quite simple. We're going to create a chord progression that's as much in a minor key than it is in a major key. It's going to be 50-50 for the whole song. That way we can kind of search the colors of each one and add more interest in the chord progression. So the first thing I would do is to create a small motif or melody using a minor scale, and then just change that motif using the notes of the major scale. For example, a couple days ago, I made a song with a simple motif like this. So if we analyze the notes of this motif, we are in the key of E flat. So the first note right here is the minor third, right? Then it's the 4, and then it's the root note, the E flat. So minor third or flat 3, that's the same thing. Flat 3, 4, 1. So I took that motif and I just changed it using the notes of a major scale. So instead of a minor third, I played a major third or a natural 3. And then I swapped those one after another. So that means that I could harmonize that as much with the E flat minor chord, and then change it to an E flat major chord. And that would sound really cool. Let's try that. It sounds nice maybe for a little interlude, but that does not make an entire song. So we can harmonize that little mixed and matched melody in minor and major with different sets of chords, different chords than just E flat minor and E flat major. So we gotta find other chords in those keys that are unique to those keys so that they really reveal the colors of that key. So we can play on top of the minor version, we can play E flat minor. Of course, we could play G flat major, which is the third chord in that minor key, right? It's unique to that key. We don't find that chord in the key of E flat major. We could play C flat, right? That's a B major chord, but in that key, we're gonna call it C flat. We could play A flat minor, and so on. So now I could do da da pa, da da da, da da, and all chords in that key. We could go even further as long as the little minor note, the minor third note, is in the chord. That could work. So I could play an A flat dominant 7, for example. It's not exactly in our key, but since it has all the notes that we need, that chord is gonna fit. So as long as the notes of your motif or your melody are in it, that works. So we could try that. And on top of the little motif in major, we have to find chords that are gonna work in the key of E flat major. So E flat major, we could play C minor. Why? Because that note is right here. We could play, right? That's a G minor because it works. It's in the key and we have that same note right here, and so on, right? So now that you found the set of chords in both keys, now you can build your own chord progression. So I could play the C flat and then that little A flat dominant 7. And when it changes, I could play the E flat and then the C minor. Let's try that. You will see it sounds really, really cool. So it goes like this. So what we can do to have a lot more fun now that we have the chord progression with both modes is to create different melodies or improvise or play a solo on top by switching modes and switching scales. So many people get confused with modes, but when you keep the same axis, the same pitch, it's not that difficult. So on top of the C flat chord and the A flat, we can play E flat minor scale, a natural minor. And on top of the E flat chord and the C minor, since those are in the key of E flat major, I can play an E flat major scale. Right? So when it's gonna go ta ta ta, I'm gonna play ta ta ta, and then ta ta ta, and I can swap between both. That's really cool. Let's try that. Let's try to jam with this. Let's add the chords and a bit of gain and a bit of fun. So I'm gonna highlight the major third and the minor third very often, right? I could go on for hours. This is so fun to do, and this is so nice to create chord progressions like this. If you want to learn more things like these, because this is just the tip of the iceberg, I have a full online course that I'm promoting right now as I'm making this video. It's called Chord Spicer. So if you're interested to go further in how to play in different keys and on outside chords and play with different modes and scales in the same song to add more colors, more spices, more variety, this is the right course for you. It's the same format. I'm going to show you what are the chords outside the key, how to incorporate those in your keys, and what kinds of modes and scales to practice with the same pitch axis on top of it. I'm giving you backing tracks, a workbook, about a dozen lessons, about 3 hours in the online course, and some bonuses. So it's really, really valuable. You can check it out. Like I said, I have a big promotion right now as I'm making this video. But if you're watching this in the future, it's really, really, really worth it to go check it out too. So it's the first link in the description box below, and I hope that you really enjoyed this lesson. Subscribe to my channel if it's your first time, and until next time, au revoir.